Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 6th to June 12th, 2022. This is a general reading, so feel free to take whatever resonates and leave behind for others whatever does not. To go deeper into your week, check out readings for your sun, moon, and rising signs. I'm going to do this one last shuffle and start dealing some cards. In this first column, we examine a puzzle that you've been trying to solve. In this middle column, we find key pieces of that puzzle. And in this third column, we get advice on how those pieces fit together. Okay. So here, this puzzle you're trying to solve, you have the cicada, metamorphosis, life cycle. I think the cicada is also considered locust. You have death, rebirth, King of Wands, and Nine of Pentacles. The key piece of the puzzle, career, the Magician, Judgment, Knight of Swords, and advice, single-mindedness. You have King of Swords, Page of Swords, and Five of Pentacles. So here, this card, the cicada, metamorphosis, life cycle, it's a sense of transformation. Very much like this death rebirth card is a transformation. With the King of Wands here, for some of you, it seems like this is how to transform into a visionary leader, how to transform into someone who is, confident, courageous, and, to some degree, possibly an entrepreneur, someone who is really going outside of the mainstream to try something innovative, try something new, and to gather support from others. So for some of you, it could be that you are maybe this is a big change from the way you grew up. Cicadas, I believe they live underground. They come out later in life. So maybe this is like a later life type of transformation. With the Nine of Pentacles, this is a card of being in a place where you are enjoying the rewards of your hard work and being in a place where you can, invest in things other than yourself. So for some of you, it may be that you've worked for a bit and doing well in one area and really, doing a 180 and going a whole different direction. So let's take a look at this death rebirth card here. You have the Star card. So with this card here, it's a sense of hope. It's a sense of balance and clarity and kind of maybe like a dream or a wish that you've had for a long time. So let's see what's up with the King of Wands over here. You have the Page of Pentacles. And this is a card about learning, having a sense of curiosity, embracing something and honoring it, in order to understand it more and be more connected to it. So for some of you, it may feel that you are, having to learn things, feeling like a novice, um, but hoping it'll really result in something grand. But right now, needing to possibly play the role of a student. And with the Nine of Pentacles, you have Knight of Wands. So a sense of exuberance and um, self-expression, pursuing your passion. This is something that's always been a part of you. So it could be the puzzle that you're trying to solve is how do you go from this, needing to learn something, needing to start from the bottom to get to this point where you're trying to, be a leader in something. And the key piece looks like it has to do with your career, and how you see yourself in terms of your career. With the magician has the ability to really bring about and manifest anything. They have confidence, they have the tools, the skills, the talents that they need. Um, there's a need to also be aware of their environment, to be aware of what it is that needs to be, manifested. They need to also have great ability to communicate their wants and needs, not only to others but to themselves, and be very clear about what it is um, that has to kind of come about. Um, it is a way to kind of indicate, what's the word I'm thinking of? Being in a place where they're confident where they are, and it may be with a switch that, with this Knight of Swords, this is kind of like rushing thoughts, um, jumping into action with not really having possibly a well thought out plan, and just kind of doing without really taking time to get grounded and analyze a situation. The magician really gets thrown off with this type of energy. So there is a need to kind of, with this Page of Pentacles, even to take things a bit slowly. And if there's a change that you want to make in how you're seen or your position, to kind of, recognize that there's an opportunity there, and to really tune in to your confidence, your focus and attention, and your ability to be aware and communicate well, and avoid situations where you need to, not avoid, but recognize when there's a feeling of needing to like rush or jump into action. With the Judgment card here, it's a sense of taking an honest reflection of who you are, where you are, how you got there, and letting go of things that don't serve your best and highest good. That can be beliefs, that can be the way your day-to-day routine. It could also, be the people you surround yourself with. So let's take a look at that Judgment card. You have the Two of Pentacles. This is a card about balance and kind of doing multiple things, having possibly multiple balls in the air. It could be that there is a need to really focus your attention on this as opposed to having multiple balls and chasing multiple balls and priorities and ideas. Let's take a look at the Knight of Swords. You have the High Priestess. High Priestess is not one to necessarily jump to conclusions or rush into action without, you know, knowing the situation or at least being grounded. So here, if there is a knee-jerk reaction to just do something, take a moment, get centered, see if you are trusting your intuition or pursuing some knee-jerk reaction to something that really isn't a priority. See what you have for the Magician. You have Two of Wands. And this is a sense of, planning to get outside of your comfort zone. So here, as I was saying, the Magician is, they're confident, they're aware of their environment, and this energy might throw them off, but it looks like there may need to be a refocus of how you're the magician. So it does again seem to be a sense of what is it that's priority, what's not, what is it that will keep you grounded, confident, focused, but in a different realm than you're used to. With this single-mindedness card, this advice, choose your own path and what is best suited to you. So again, the single-mindedness, having a main focus and not jumping around. With the King of Swords, this is a card of being very clear-headed, being very reasonable, having boundaries, but also compassion, and being able to make those business decisions, not necessarily in a cold way, but in a way that gets done what needs to be accomplished. With the Page of Swords, this is a card of investigation and needing to learn some things. Again, being in the page mode of maybe a newbie to something. So recognizing that you are a newbie or will be a newbie for this particular task or goal, and to recognize you still have talents and strengths that will transfer over. This single-mindedness, staying focused on what your goal is, the opportunities that are right for you, making sure that you are also having some fun along the way. And here with the Five of Pentacles, it seems like this is more a potential limiting belief or a feeling of not having something that might pop up and might threaten your ability to stay focused. If it is a situation where you are needing to budget your finances, then tap into the King of Swords and Page of Swords energy and make a budget. See if you can ask for help from someone. See how you can shift your perspective of something. Is it true lack, or is it a perceived lack because you're not exactly where you want to be, or hope to be. So perhaps having release any certain types of expectations that you might have. You can have a business plan, a goal, markers, benchmarks on how you're doing, but certain outcomes, certain things, if they're not matching up with what you planned for, um, not having that be a reflection of your self-worth. So let's look at the Five of Pentacles. You have King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles got to be King of Pentacles by going through the work, doing the work, experiencing the ups and downs of creating, their kingdom. And they know about the slow go. So it seems there's a little bit of a change with, there's not change, but the Pentacles, they're about slow nurturing and growth and investing. It's not something that's necessarily overnight. However, the King of Wands, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, more than knights, they're very much about action, making things happen as soon as possible. And so really there is competing desires to do things in a more responsible, planned out way that is going to take some time. And the energy of wanting to be all knowing and all powerful as soon as possible. So it seems that, really choosing your path and the best way to go that path based on what you know about yourself, but then also this is like, there's something that needs to change. There's something that you need to let go of in order to balance all these things. So let's take a look at the Page of Swords over here. You have the Ten of Wands. This is a card of possibly having a goal that is very ambitious, taking on a lot. It's, possibly draining your energy and needing to really get help or delegate certain things, reprioritize. But if you want to avoid this situation, making sure you have a very well-researched plan before, setting up your goals and your tasks. And if you are able to, then, delegating certain things to others. Let's take a look at the King of Swords. You have the Three of Swords here. And, I guess similar to the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords becomes the King of Swords by having gone through and learned from past experiences, the good and the not so good. Here with the Three of Swords, it's a sense of disappointment, betrayal, guilt, shame. So here, the King of Swords, it's with these the juxtaposition of the kings and these two cards of like lack or upset. It's almost as if it's saying, these things can pop up on your path. You can choose your path and you can prepare for your path, but there might be things that pop up where you really need to tap into your strengths and the energy of what it is you want to accomplish, like in the goals. and to take from those situations that pop up that aren't in your plan as learning experiences, life lessons. What I do think is interesting is that I do not see in any of these cards the suit of the cups, what has to do with emotions, connections. Um, Definitely, I see, you know, desires, passions, uh, motivations, and plans of action, pursuits of plans and truth and so forth. But I do not see cups. So here, it's also making me think that even though you're choosing your own path that's best suited for you, these times where the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles is when people tend to need support. And the Kings, they're usually there for other people, the protectors, uh, the providers, and they are protecting, providing not only for themselves but for others. So this kind of brings the question of who is your support system? Who can you ask for help when you need help, to delegate to if need be? So I'm hoping that this provides a helpful perspective of your week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.